I wonder what it was that got him. You know, it's 57 years old. I mean, he's a thin guy. He looked like he's healthy.
He looked very healthy. He looked like he could have been mistaken for Pharrell. I mean, he was like,
yeah.
Those two guys are like ageless, you know?
And he did a show just a couple nights ago.
Yeah, he was on tour.
After these two amazing concerts, he sends out on Twitter, he says, "I'm transformed."
I heard that you have a vault of hundreds of unreleased songs. Are you ever going to release them and let us hear?
One day, someone will release them. I don't know that I'll get to release them.
Why are you holding on to them?
There's just so many, and one day, someone will release them. I don't know that I'll get to release them.
In a recent episode of his podcast, Joe Rogan delves into the controversial topic surrounding the tragedy of Prince, offering a startling perspective on how it might have been orchestrated. With his signature style of open conversation and curiosity, Rogan explores various theories and details that have surfaced over the years, questioning the circumstances that led to the music legend's untimely passing.
Good day.
It may be a while before we know Prince's cause of death, but some possible causes have now been ruled out. Prince was found unresponsive in his home on Thursday in a Minneapolis suburb known as Chanhassen. Dean Reynolds is in that area with the latest. Dean, good morning.
Good morning. Well, as you can see, the memorial to Prince outside his home here continues to grow, as do those questions surrounding his death just 2 days ago.
Amid the very real grief of this community, Prince's body was turned over to his family on Friday after an autopsy that may reveal more about what killed him, but not for a while. Carver County Sheriff Jim Olson.
This will continue to be an open investigation until the autopsy results come back.
Prince Rogers Nelson, known simply as Prince, was an iconic musician, singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist. His unique style, flamboyant stage presence, and groundbreaking music made him a global sensation. Prince's influence on the music industry is undeniable, with hits like Purple Rain, When Doves Cry, and Kiss becoming timeless classics.
If you ask any artist, the music is a success upon creation. When you give it to somebody like a Rolling Stone or a Vibe and they start critiquing it, then your perception changes. But that's looking through somebody else's eyes. So again, we gauge success based upon what we feel in our hearts. You know, we've shut our minds off now. Minds should be used for what they were made for, filing cabinets. We think with our hearts.
I don't know what they thought we were trying to be, but you know, wasn't accepting it at first. You're not going to tell me what I'm going to wear. You're not going to tell me what I'm going to do. You know, you don't know me, and I'm not that guy that you might think I am. If you step up on me, you might be a whole different situation. So anyway.
Despite his immense success, Prince was known for his reclusive nature and enigmatic personality. He maintained a level of privacy that few celebrities could achieve, which only added to the intrigue surrounding his life and career. Prince's unexpected passing in April 2016 left fans and the music world in shock, and it wasn't long before conspiracy theories began to emerge.
It was 9:43 Central Time Thursday morning when sheriff's deputies found the music legend unresponsive inside of an elevator that led to his living quarters. It was sudden, but not entirely shocking. While just last month, Prince appeared the picture of health, showing up courtside at this Golden State Warriors game, April brought the first signs of trouble. At the Fox Theater in Atlanta on April 7th, organizers canceled 2 concert appearances, saying the entertainer was battling the flu.
We don't know a lot about his medical history overall. We know that he's walking with a cane, he had some hip problems, we know that. But 2 weeks ago from today, he canceled some shows. At that time, we were told that it was the flu that prevented him from doing those shows. A week later, to the day, he did those. He actually performed those shows. They were here in Atlanta. Right. He did 2 shows back to back. And by all reports, people who attended the show, I know you interviewed some of them, they said he looked great.
He killed.
Yeah.
For 90 minutes.
On the flight home that night, back to Minnesota, they had to make an emergency landing. He had to be taken to a hospital that night. So this is Thursday night, Friday morning of last week now we're talking about. Was in the hospital for about 3 hours and then discharged and went back home. And again, it was said to be flu. He needed to get some treatments for flu, really nothing more than that.
One of the key points Rogan has highlighted is the involvement of influential figures and the potential motives behind Prince's passing. Rogan has suggested that there may have been more to the story than what was initially reported. He has pointed out that Prince's outspoken nature and his battles with major record labels could have made him a target for those who felt threatened by his independence and influence.
Where there was a forced landing, allegedly because he lost consciousness.
Requesting an ambulance to meet an officer at gate 1.
Something is not right. So when I heard about that, I just got a really sinking feeling, because that just, didn't make sense to me.
When Prince's plane had to land, I knew about it before the press did. And it was scary moment.
Looked through the unsealed search warrants that pertain to the death of Prince. One is that investigators found opioid painkillers in much of Prince's estate. And the controlled substances were found in things like prescription pill bottles, but also aspirin and vitamin bottles. Two, investigators noted that not a single one of the prescriptions that Prince had actually had his name on them. Instead, some of those prescription bottles had the name of his longtime friend and estate manager, Kirk Johnson, on them. Three, Dr. Michael Schulenberg told investigators that he had prescribed an opioid painkiller.
Prince's relationship with major record labels was tumultuous, to say the least. He famously changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol in the 1990s as a protest against his record label, Warner Brothers, and the music industry's control over artists. This move was a bold statement against the exploitation of musicians and their creative work.
You're an unusual person. Most people don't get famous with one name and then change it, right? Would you say? What's the story of that, by the way?
Well, I had searched deep within my heart and spirit, and I wanted to make a change and move to a new plateau in my life. And one of the ways in which I did that was to change my name. It sort of divorced me from the past and all the hang-ups that go along with it.
Why then did you choose the artist formerly known as?
Well, I didn't choose that. That was chosen.
It chosen for you?
Yeah, pretty much.
What would you have chosen? I mean, did you think of a name? What is your name at birth?
My name at birth was Prince Rogers Nelson. Yeah.
So did you think of Nelson?
No.
Rogers?
No.
Were you thinking of a name?
No, it didn't come to me like that.
Prince's 35th birthday, he literally became even more of an icon than he already was. That's the day that he changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol. And he released the following statement. It's an unpronounceable symbol whose meaning has not been identified. It's all about thinking in new ways, tuning in to a new frequency. Now, the love symbol that we all know is a combination of man, woman, and music. And it made its debut on the cover of the October release in 1992, which was the Love Symbol album, which of course also did not have an actual name. It was unpronounceable.
When I was using the name Prince, I used specific instruments, and I was loyal to those instruments up until the point at which everyone started buying those instruments and trying to sound like I sounded. Then I abandoned them and went off and did other things.
Rogan has speculated that Prince's defiance and refusal to conform to industry norms may have led to conflicts with powerful entities. He has suggested that these conflicts could have played a role in the events leading up to Prince's passing. While there is no concrete evidence to support these claims, the idea that Prince's independence made him a target is a recurring theme in Rogan's discussions.
We're following several new developments this morning in the death of Prince. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Minneapolis tells NBC News they're joining the investigation into his death. We're also learning new details about the hours leading up to Prince's death. Blake McCoy joins us from Minnesota. Blake, good morning. What are the very latest details?
Well, Jose, good morning to you. It's been exactly 2 weeks now since Prince was found dead here at his Paisley Park estate, and we're learning that in those hours before, there was a life-saving mission to
synthetic opioid that is 30 to 50 times more potent than heroin and 50 to 100 times more potent than morphine. The evidence demonstrates that Prince thought he was taking Vicodin and not fentanyl. Nothing in the evidence suggests that Prince knowingly ingested fentanyl. In addition, there is no evidence that any person associated with Prince knew Prince possessed any counterfeit pills containing fentanyl. In all likelihood, Prince had no idea he was taking a counterfeit pill that could kill him. Despite their extensive efforts, law enforcement was unable to determine the source of the counterfeit Vicodin laced with fentanyl.
The circumstances surrounding Prince's passing have been the subject of much debate and speculation. Official reports stated that Prince was found unresponsive in an elevator at his Paisley Park estate in Minnesota. The cause was attributed to an accidental overdose of a powerful painkiller.
New information has emerged in the ongoing investigation into the death of music legend Prince. An investigator on the case says 24 counterfeit pills have tested positive for fentanyl. They were reportedly discovered at Prince's Paisley Park estate inside a bottle of Aleve. Fentanyl is an opioid 50 times more powerful than heroin. Autopsy results show the 57-year-old died of a fentanyl overdose back in April. Authorities are still investigating exactly how Prince obtained the drugs.
However, critics have questioned the official narrative, pointing out inconsistencies and raising doubts about the events leading up to that fateful day. Insiders have discussed the possibility of foul play and the involvement of individuals who may have had a vested interest in silencing the iconic musician.
So well hidden, I suppose. There's a lot of evidence it took me a long time to find, but alas, I did find as much as I could. I found even phone calls from the county sheriff, all the calls that they had with Prince's employees, and I noticed something very, very interesting. I want you to note is that fentanyl was never prescribed to Prince professionally, meaning that the drugs found, and this is something that the police has reported, the drugs found were counterfeit pills laced with fentanyl. So it was actually a knockoff pill of Vicodin. Vicodin is a prescription you can get at the doctor's. So this was a knockoff of that pill, except the difference is that the knockoff had lethal doses of fentanyl.
Following Prince's passing, an investigation was launched to determine the circumstances surrounding the incident. Authorities discovered numerous prescription medications at his residence, including some that were not in his name. This raised questions about how Prince obtained these medications and whether there was any foul play involved. Despite the investigation, no criminal charges were filed, and the case was ultimately closed as an accidental overdose.
There are new revelations tonight from the investigation into the death of the pop star Prince. Newly unsealed records tonight show he had narcotics hidden all throughout his home, none of them prescribed in his own name. And as ABC's Eva Pilgrim reports, there's also one more glaring mystery tonight.
Tonight, search warrants concerning music superstar Prince's death unsealed, painting a picture of the singer's opioid addiction. These court documents show investigators found a sizable amount of narcotic medications located inside Paisley Park. The pills hidden in aspirin and other over-the-counter pain relief bottles all over the house. Some of them, including recent ones found in a suitcase along with handwritten lyrics to his 1987 hit, You Got the Look, were prescribed under the name of his longtime friend and drummer, Kirk Johnson.
There were reports that Prince had visited a doctor multiple times in the weeks leading up to his passing, seeking treatment for pain. The doctor who saw him prescribed medication, but it's unclear whether Prince was fully informed about the risks associated with these medications. Some have speculated that medical professionals may have inadvertently contributed to Prince's overdose. Prince's passing had a profound impact on his fans and the music industry as a whole. His music continues to inspire and resonate with people around the world, and his legacy remains a testament to his unparalleled talent and creativity.
Okay, so we were just last night talking about the 80s and how much we missed it, and we had broken conversation about Vanity dying and our age group, and we talked about Prince, and then, oh, he lives so close, we should go just find out, look at his house and everything. And we're at work, and we got the breaking news, so we got off of work, and we fly back home tomorrow, and we're like, we have to make a road trip now, so we just got in the car and just drove straight here.
Where are you from?
I'm from Orlando, Florida.
What's your favorite Prince song?
Kiss, by far. It's the one song when I hear it, I have to get up.
What about yours? Do you have a favorite Prince song?
I'm the same way. I love Kiss, and whenever I hear that song, I have to get up and dance.
The one thing that, kind of spooked me about it all was, he has a song called Let's Go Crazy.
Yeah.
And it says, don't let the elevator bring us down. One time when I was with him privately, he said, you know what the elevator is, right? No. I said, no, what's the elevator? He said, well, the elevator is the devil. right? It scared me. I don't like to talk like that, but he said that. And so for me, it was like really haunting when I read that he was found in an elevator.
I noticed the very last comment that he had made on his very last pic on Instagram. Just when you thought you were safe.
While the official cause of Prince's tragic end was determined to be an accidental overdose, the details surrounding his passing have led to various theories and speculations. The combination of prescription medication, potential counterfeit medication, and the involvement of medical professionals has created a complex narrative. Despite the official ruling, the mystery surrounding Prince's passing remains a topic of interest, and Prince's legacy as an iconic musician and his impact on the music industry continue to be celebrated, and the quest for truth surrounding his passing remains an important topic of discussion. Through his podcast, Rogan has provided a platform for critical thinking and open dialogue, reminding us of the importance of seeking the truth, even when it may be uncomfortable or controversial.
Prince story, this is like probably one of my most influential shit, but my saddest shit. Instead of me like turning myself in for violating probation, I turned myself into a rehab. So it'll look, I got a problem, so I need to stay in, so they won't put me in jail. Just, I ain't never told nobody that. But on the way, literally on the way to go check myself into the spot, I get a call and I'm like, yo, what's up? Like, hello. Like, his voice deep as hell. He's like, I just want to be able to show you how to navigate through this stuff. And I'm here for you, bro.
Wait, hold up, but y'all never had a prior relationship?
Never, nah.
What do you think about Joe Rogan's take on Prince passing away? Do you believe there could be more to the story, or is it all just speculation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.